Party Line's a 1988 thriller from director William Webb. The movie opens, how else? Somebody calls a party line. The classiest adult party line. Richard Roundtree, the original Shaft. Oh, this is gonna be good. The woman talks for a bit while some guy on the other end, furiously jacking, sets up a plan to meet her. We then cut to this guy who is also calling the party line.
When I'm in the mood, I can be talked into anything.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's get nuts. Let's watch the Paul Lynde Halloween special. Back to the couple from a minute ago. Seems they met up and things are going well. I also think it's safe to say in reality, the girl on the other end of the party line is not an attractive blonde. Chances are it's usually this. Or this. Or this. Anyway, the couple continues to fool around. Part of the way through shtupping and this guy walks in.
You're doing it again, huh?
Hi, sweetie.
Sweetie.
It's time for everyone's new favorite reality game show. Oh snap, you've been blocked. This is Seth and Angelina. This brother and sister duo enjoys setting people up on the party line. They search for married guys and then trap them after they have sex with Angelina. Looks like they're gonna do more than just turn the guy into his wife.
Now get Daddy's razor.
Although I'm sure for some guys, death would be the better alternative. Seth kills the guy and dumps his body where the homeless can find him. Didn't they imply this guy was killed with a razor? How is he in the car without getting blood all over the place? Nice red Ferrari. That wouldn't be ridiculously easy to find. Seth and Angelina head to Fantasia Dancing Entertainment. It seems they're regulars here. They hit the dance floor where everyone is doing the dork. Meanwhile, the neighborhood creeper is spying on Stacy. Oh no, he's in her apartment! Okay, it turns out it's her boss, Henry, the DA. Apparently they've been working a little overtime. She's not really into it though and thinks it's a bad idea. She gets a call that they found another body, so she goes to investigate. Alright, Shaft's on the case! He introduces her to the bum who found the body.
I'm not a bum, I'm homeless.
Okay, he introduces her to the homeless guy who found the body. He's not too much help.
Did you get the license number?
Are you crazy? I can't see a thing without my glasses.
Captain Barnes talks to Detective Dan. That night, two high school girls are having fun on the party line. Okay, who's falling for this?
Hey, baby. These lips have been to places that aren't even on the map.
This guy, apparently.
Lenny. Yeah, Mr. Footlong.
Get your mind out of the gutter. He got that nickname because he loves Subway. Just then they have to go. Jennifer and Alice were babysitting for the Simmons. Mr. Simmons goes to give the girls a ride home. Mr. Simmons drops off Alice first, and then he goes to drop off Jennifer. He does this so he can creep on her. Hey, you ever heard about this movie called The Babysitters? Angelina's preparing a wig because the guy on the phone said he likes redheads. This guy really thinks it's a bright idea to try to molest this girl in front of her house. Thankfully, she slaps him and gets away. Over at another club, the drug kingpin Gonzalez is celebrating getting his girls out of jail. Detective Dan's there with the lead singer from A Flock of Seagulls.
Praise the Lord and pass the loot.
I thought it was Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition. Gonzalez has got the moves! Seth drops Angelina off at the club to meet her mark. M'lady. She finds the guy because he said he'd have a red handkerchief, and of course, it's a middle-aged banker guy with a comb-over. The two go outside. Back inside, isn't this the same guy who was just at the door? They chat in the car and Seth comes by to kill him. Well, that's not nice. Didn't even give him one last nut. They also seem to be getting really sloppy. They kill the guy right out in the open, about 20 feet from the front of the club. Detective Dan notices Gonzalez is missing. He goes to the bathroom to find him dealing, so he dunks his head in pee. He goes to arrest the other guy, but Gonzalez gets away. Gonzalez steals a motorcycle, and Dan gets in a car to find the body of the banker guy. Well, you could still use the car. I don't think he needs it. Dan's talking to the captain.
You bringing your girlfriends to work now, Lloyd?
You know damn well if my girlfriend looked like that, I'd still be home in bed instead of standing here talking to you.
Damn right. He introduces Detective Dan to the DA Special Investigator, Stacy. Oh, they're gonna be a wacky mismatched team now, aren't they?
You know, I'm so happy to see that you two get along so well, because you're gonna be partners in this case.
Called it. She fills him in on the case. Stacy tries to get the attention of the crowd, and when that doesn't work, Dan does this.
Get your panties all in a bunch. It was a blank, okay?
He just so happened to have blanks for this occasion. One guy says he saw the victim leave with a hot redhead, who is standing right next to him. Seth then gives some false information to throw them off the case. Dan and Stacy head out. Why is she sitting in the middle of the seat? Also, the black backdrop isn't big enough so we can see the wall here. Back at the club, Angelina finds a new guy to mess with. It's pretty obvious the song they're using for the movie is not the same one that this band is playing. She isn't even singing here. Angelina introduces Seth to
I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Herc.
Herc. Cop pulls over Dan to find out why he's parked in the middle of the street. Wow, cops are really friendly in this town. Turns out it's Dan's side piece, Butch. Angelina goes to the bathroom and Seth takes this time to spray ketchup on the wall. He tells Angelina Herc left with another girl so they can get out of there. That night, Mr. Simmons is checking his mail and sees a huge phone bill. He calls the number to find out what it is. He immediately gets sucked into the scam.
You haven't met Big Jack yet.
Dan gets a message about a murder at the nightclub. She's in the middle of the seat again. Here's a little exposition dump for you. Seems the mother killed herself with a straight razor, which explains their straight razor obsession. The father mysteriously drowned, and most likely they did it. Angelina's watching the news and learns Herc was murdered. She's mad, so she goes to, oh my god, why is he wearing a wedding dress? She slaps him around, and it comes out that Seth was a mama's boy, and their father was molesting Angelina. Detective Dan goes home and gets a visit from Butch. The next day, Angelina is doing an ad for a rowing machine. She decides it's time to put on some tanning lotion and make the whole audience uncomfortable. The DA is not too happy with Stacy being partnered with Dan.
Now, perhaps if the lieutenant had been a little more mindful of the proper procedure, those children might be alive today.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Well, wouldn't be a cop thriller without the cop losing his badge at some point. Stacy tries to tell Dan she still needs his help, but he's going fishing. He then heads home. What's the rule? Never have a poster of a movie better than your movie in your movie? Stacy goes to ask Seth some more questions. He tries to get rid of her by acting suspicious and guilty. Seth's speeding and gets pulled over by Butch. He doesn't want a ticket, so boo. I liked her. Dan gets a call about Butch. Oh, it's personal, nah. The girls are back on the party line. They're talking to Seth and also Mr. Simmons. Oh, and also this other lady. Is there only like 5 people that use this number? Dan goes to see Stacy. With Butch dead, he wants to help her catch the killer. The girls go to meet Seth, but get duped by the other lady. Mr. Simmons shows up looking like Leisure Suit Larry. He tries to move in, and Seth tells him he has a sister. Mr. Simmons is a little too eager.
Well, it sure makes me horny.
Ew. Sugar Lips doesn't want to waste any more time and leaps on Seth. Mr. Simmons decides to make the move on Angelina. Angelina then brings the two some snacks. It's time for my favorite supporting character, the boom mic. It's slicey time! Dan and Stacy discuss the case over coffee and pizza. They figure out it's 2 killers, a man and a woman. They get some phone call records from the victims and discover they all called the party line. The next day, this little guy gets traumatized for life. Gotta say, I'm not feeling too sad for Mr. Simmons. The DA is mad at Stacy for bringing Dan. The girls see the news report that Mr. Simmons is dead. Since they saw the meetup last night, they know who's the killer. Jennifer goes to tell the duo about what she saw. They go to Stacy's apartment to call the party line. I think she may have called the wrong number.
There has been an issue. Now, did you get confirmation from him? Did he finally admit to the infidelity?
She fends off a bunch of extremely thirsty dudes. Finally, she gets a hold of Seth. They agree to meet at Fantasia. Angelina realizes Seth is getting too sloppy, so she's packing to leave. Wasn't she the one who gave him the razor to kill Sugar Lips and Simmons? I've never seen a backless sport coat before. She tells him she's moving to Rome. He begs her not to go, and ew. She turns on him, so he strangles her to death. Stacy puts on her sexiest red dress to trap the killer. This stuns everyone, including the guy playing the saxophone.
Wow.
Stacy heads into Fantasia. The bouncer stops this guy. I'm sorry, kid, we don't allow nerd sweaters in this club. Seth pays a guy to wear the red suspenders. Dan's in the club keeping an eye on things. Jennifer somehow snuck into the club, even though she looks like a 12-year-old who got into her mom's makeup. Dan wants her to leave, but she insists she needs to be there to identify the guy. Jennifer points out the decoys, so Dan heads to get him. So she's there to positively identify the killer, but doesn't want to wait to see his face? Seth in disguise grabs Stacy. They realize it's the wrong guy, and Dan runs back to find Stacy. Hey, this is chloroform. Wow, the door guys completely dropped the ball on this one. Yeah, it's okay. My day totally had too much to drink, and I'm not an obvious guy in a woman disguise kidnapping someone. Dan frantically talks to the valet.
Couple of girls. One of them looked pretty loaded to me.
Blonde hair, red dress?
Yeah, nice ass too.
Gee, thanks, least observant guy. Dan calls the police to run the plate number. Oh, now the staff wants to get involved? Seth has Stacy tied up and wants her to be his replacement sister. Dan gets the address, so he steals a Porsche and speeds out. Seth explains he's been killing married men who cheat on their wives because they're just like his father. Okay, but why did you also kill this lady? They head outside and Stacy gives him a swift kick to the nards and hurls him over the balcony. That's about a 30-foot drop, so unless he's a Terminator, he should be dead. She heads to the door and gets greeted by Dan. They head outside and, of course, Seth is still alive.
Must be in the garden. Stay here. Don't move.
Yes, crazy killer on the loose. Let's split up. This couldn't possibly go wrong. Dan's looking for Seth and a member of the crew tries to hide. Ah, an indoor swimming pool. This looks like the perfect place for a finale showdown. Seth lunges in and gets double whammied. Oh, now backup arrives? Good job, everybody. The DA and the captain show up. Even though he's violated about a dozen laws, he gets his badge back. With the killers dead and Stacy safe, the duo walk off to the sounds of sexy saxophone. Party Line was shot mostly in Los Angeles in early 1988. The writer, Richard Brandeis, had moved to LA in the hopes of becoming an actor. After working on some smaller films, he met up with producer Kurt Anderson. The two brainstormed ideas for potential scripts. Another producer, Tom Burns, suggested doing something revolving around a party line. At the time, party lines were very popular. This was long before the internet, and it was a way for people to hook up. The writer researched it and discovered all sorts of shenanigans were going on. People were using it as a way to cheat on their spouses, and some were addicted, racking up huge phone bills. He thought it would be interesting to show the seedy side of things, and mix in a couple of lunatics who used the service to lure people to their deaths. Anderson introduced the writer to William Webb, who agreed to direct the movie. Anderson and Webb worked together previously on the film Delta Fever, and formed the company Westwind. Brandeis said it was only about 4 to 6 months from the time it was written to when it was filmed. They cast Richard Hatch as Detective Dan. He was well known from TV shows like Dynasty and The Love Boat, as well as Apollo from Battlestar Galactica. Sean Weatherly from TJ Hooker was hired to play Stacy. The original Shaft, Richard Roundtree, was hired to play the captain. Model and fitness expert Greta Blackburn was hired to play Angelina. She acted in TV shows like Automan and movies like Chained Heat. Most 80s kids would remember her as Lorraine, the Good Lizard, in V, The Final Battle. In 1987, she starred in the Frank Stallone action film Savage Harbor, with Karen Mayo Chandler, who played Sugar Lips. The cheating guy in the beginning was Blackburn's partner at the time. Blackburn continued acting and became the founding editor of Ms. Fitness magazine. Child actor turned musician Leif Garrett was hired to play the killer Seth. He also previously starred in Delta Fever from William Webb and Kurt Anderson. Mr. Simmons was played by Terrence McGovern, who was a popular DJ on KSFO radio in San Francisco, California. He's done tons of voice work from the Transformers to DuckTales to Darkwing Duck. Patricia Patz, who played Jennifer, was also the voice of Peppermint Patty in a few Charlie Brown TV specials. When Richard Brandeis was working on the script, direct-to-video movies were taken off, so he expected this to go in that direction. He was happy that instead it was picked up for distribution and had a small run in theaters. Brandeis also had a cameo as the guy buying drugs in the bathroom. He continued working in the industry as a writer for movies like Martial Law 1 and 2, and as a writer-producer for movies like Devil in the Flesh 1 and 2. He also directed films like 2006's Penny Dreadful. When he was contacted about Party Line getting a Blu-ray release, he thought it was a prank. He was happy to discover it was real, and the company Vinegar Syndrome restored the film and gave it a solid HD release. Party Line is a good little erotic thriller. To me, it feels like the prototype for the TV series Silk Stockings. Richard Hatch and Sean Weatherly worked well together, and I really would have enjoyed their characters in another crime drama. Leif Garrett was very believable as the insane sibling Seth. He brought the right amount of creep factor to the film. Greta Blackburn was also good as the manipulative sister. Blackburn reminded me of Nicole Kidman. With her being a very tall actress at 5'10" and incredibly beautiful, I'm surprised her acting career wasn't bigger. It's always good to see Richard Roundtree. He just really didn't do much here. Party Line, like 976 Evil, was trying to capitalize on the 976 craze. Although when Party Line did it, they got it out so quickly that they didn't miss out on the fad. It was a sexy, somewhat sleazy, borderline exploitation film that I very much enjoyed. The Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome looks terrific, although it does make it easier to spot the flaws. Still, it's the best thriller about incestuous siblings that murder cheating partners they find on party lines, only to be caught by Peppermint Patty.
When I'm in the mood, I can be talked into anything.
Oh yeah, baby, let's binge watch Homeboys in Outer Space. Oh yeah, baby, let's binge watch Viva Lachlan. Oh yeah, baby, let's binge watch Super Train. Oh yeah, baby, let's binge watch... Oh yeah, baby, let's binge watch Cop Rock.